What is going on, Gen Nation? I am Spartacris, and this is a big episode. I'm excited about this. I'm doing something a little different. Don't mind the green screen behind me. I am going to be switching over to a different format. I am going to live stream Loki. Today's the season finale. I know the only thing that's spoiled for myself so far is that it is coming back for another season. Otherwise, I have been able to avoid spoilers for the entire time. The entire day, I should say. It's been a pain in the butt, but I was able to do it, and I am excited for this show. I got my Guinness ready to go. Make sure we enjoy ourselves, get comfortable, relax. I want to give it a few more minutes before I start the show, but I will switch over, and let me just go ahead and switch now. And here we are. I'm in Disney Plus world. We are going to be watching the show. Let's see what happens. Who knows if Twitch is even going to accept this. I've never done this before, but there's a first time for everything. And let's be honest, I'm a small time guy, so I don't even know if they're paying attention to me anyway. And get your drinks ready. It's crazy to me that the DCEU can have hundreds of millions of dollars for a budget and can't make Doomsday or Henry Cavill's mustache look like it's actually not there. But the MCU can cut those budgets down a little bit, put them on a TV show, and still make something like a big smoke monster look like it's really there and really interacting with these actors. It's just insane to me.
You wouldn't have heard of me.
Let me put you on hold.
Dance off, bro. He's a friend from work.
I can do this all day.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's a cool intro.
Show you velocity.
Higher, further, faster, baby.
We have what's a record?
Jump on that spaceship and get out of here.
That was cocky.
Like an audio travel through time. Looks like the meteor from Armageddon. I wanted her to kick it down. Cracks in reality, huh? It's just an elevator. Yo, that is Kang. That's the same actor that's going to play Kang in Ant-Man 3. Maybe he's been lonely. Who knows how long he's been living here.
Oh, swing of a miss. So we're still doing that. Let's get all this out of the way.
Oh, I like this guy as Kang. Let's see. Oh, damn. Got his ass whoop. You're right.
And just who are you?
Another version of Kang, I guess.
I've been dubbed many names by many people.
Kang the
A
Conqueror.
ruler, a conqueror, he who remains, a jerk. But it's not as simple as a name. Eons ago, before the TVA, a variant of myself lived on Earth in the 31st century. He was a scientist, and he discovered that there were universes stacked on top of his own. And at the same time, other versions of us were learning the same thing. Naturally, they made contact, and for a while, there was peace. Narcissistic, self-congratulatory peace. I love your shoes. I love your hair. Oh man, nice nose. Thanks, man. Etc. They shared technology and knowledge, using the best of their universes to improve the others. However, not every version of me was so pure of heart. Some of us, new worlds meant only one thing: new lands to be conquered. The peace between realities.
So that's the multiversal war that they talked about in the beginning of the show.
All-out war. Each variant fighting to preserve their universe and annihilate the others. This is almost the end, ladies and gentlemen, of everything and everyone.
And then the timekeepers came along and saved us all.
No. No. No, this is where we diverge from the dogma. That first variant encountered a creature created from all the tears in reality, capable
Goliath.
of consuming time and space itself. A creature you both know.
Yeah.
Goliath.
Bingo. I harnessed the beast's power and began experimenting on it.
I weaponized Goliath. And I ended the multiversal war. Once I isolated our timeline, all I have to do is manage the flow of time and prevent any further branches. Hence, the TVA. Hence, the timekeepers in a highly efficient bureaucracy. Hence, ages and ages of cosmic harmony. Hence, you're welcome.
So I wonder if he's gonna play a variant of himself in Ant-Man 3.
And that's the gambit.
And he can appear in a ton of movies as Kang, or different versions of Kang.
Cataclysmic chaos. You may hate the dictator, but something
Man, I love the Marvel
far worse
Universe.
is gonna feel that. We just crossed the threshold.
What does that mean? He doesn't know what's gonna happen anymore?
So I fibbed. I fibbed earlier when I said I know how everything is going to go. I knew everything up to a certain point, and that point was about 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds ago.
Is it weird that they're the same person technically? I don't know. Does that make it okay?
Aren't you gonna beg for your life?
Good.
Damn.
See you soon.
That's it. Multiple timelines. The multiverse of madness. Strange is going to be dealing with all the consequences because Sylvie is a dum-dum. Ant-Man's going to deal with Kang the Conqueror because of this. I don't know how Shang-Chi's going to tie into all this. The Eternals are going to come out of hiding because of all this. This is how we get Blade, the Fantastic Four, possibly some X-Men. And the world they're on. That's basically Battle World. Mark my words. I'm saying it here, I'm saying it now. The next big event movie, the next Avengers Endgame, is going to take place on this planet with all the superheroes converging to fight Kang and his army, or an army of Kangs, or whatever it is. Hey, doesn't that look like the intro to the X-Men movies? When they would go through all the DNA shit, unleashing the mutant gene? Damn. Secret Wars, here we come. There's my man Kang right there. Wow. Damn. I didn't expect Kang to be in this episode. I didn't think they were going to introduce him in the show. I guess because everyone already knew he was going to be an Ant-Man, they were okay with kind of releasing him to the world. What an introduction, man. That's awesome. That's our big bad. That's the big bad. That's the next Thanos level threat. Worse than Thanos. I barely know what to say right now. So that's how we get Kang introduced into the MCU. That's how we get Kang and Ant-Man and Quantumania. I still think the TVA is in the quantum realm, which just basically means that Ant-Man 3 is going to be traveling through the quantum realm. We're going to learn about it. Damn, son. So good. Rob Zombie, you were absolutely right. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Not a lot of action, but you don't need action when the story is that good. Next Thor movie makes a lot more sense. So one of the first things I said when they announced that Jane was going to be, a new version of Thor was, how does she get the hammer? So clearly that's from another dimension. That also explains, I guess, why she'll be sick in that dimension. But you figure, Guardians of the Galaxy has got to deal with this too. Adam Warlock's going to be a part of that. I don't know how he kind of ties into everything, but that's got to be a part of it. I feel like the major movies, though, Spider-Man, No Way Home, is going to have multiple Peter Parkers. That's got to be almost like a guarantee. This is how you introduce the X-Men. You're going to have basically introduce the X-Men in their own universe and somehow converge. I do think Fantastic Four is going to take place in like the 50s or 60s, and it's going to be in their own dimension. I think Blade's going to be its own dimension. Shang-Chi, I guess, will be the main timeline, but who knows if that ties into this or not. Wow. That's just crazy. Rob Zombie says, end of WandaVision makes more sense now, too. She hears her kids right when those branches begin there. I agree with you 100%. I think that the time frame of that movie basically lined up with this one. So at the very end, she basically doesn't tap into another dimension like she might think. It's almost like the branch, Sylvie kills Kang right when she's doing her little meditation thing and hears her kids and then thinks to herself, oh, now I can go get them. Doctor Strange, think about it too. Doctor Strange is going to be in his movie dealing with the multiverse of madness. He's already going to be a major part of Spider-Man No Way Home. And I think I was reading today that Loki is going to be in Doctor Strange 2. So he's going to be a big part of that also. I wonder if maybe with the way it looks like here, they're going to arrest Loki, maybe put him in a cell. Doctor Strange will release him and he'll help him kind of navigate the timeline and figure out what happened. Yo, that's crazy. See, this is why you got to just trust Marvel, man. Kevin Feige knows what he's doing. He's got plans. He's got things lined up and ready to go. Freaking nuts. I was not expecting to see Kang. I know it wasn't the same version of Kang, and they didn't call him Kang, but I did not think that that's what we were going to see this episode. I thought that they were going to tease him. I almost kind of assumed they were going to show the statue maybe at the end, confirming that he's our villain. But I did not think we were going to actually see and talk and hear him. I wonder if, my comment about bad guys always needing an accent, I wonder if, the version of Kang that takes over is going to have a thick accent. Fucking crazy. Such a good episode. I'm about to watch that again. Rob says, and now we fully understand time travel in multiple realities. Think about that for a second. Tell me one movie that does such a clear job of explaining how time travel works and multiple realities. And I know, some of the fanboys will say Back to the Future and whatnot, but no other property has taken this much time to a detailed explanation of how the time travel works. That is nuts. Now we fully understand it. Even people who aren't science fiction people will be able to keep up with what's going on. And now the big problem though is if you didn't watch Loki, and you just watch the movie, you're going to be a little confused. But, who gives a shit? I watch all this stuff, so I'm not worried about those people. Wow. I'm amped. I know in the Facebook group, we had a member that said that they weren't too thrilled with the show. And I'm just going to say live right now that I think he's an asshole because it was freaking awesome. I thought it was really good. I know it was mostly dialogue, a lot of talking, but I was glued to that screen, man. The actor, Jonathan Majors, I think his name is, playing Kang, he chose the right style. He sucked me right in. No homo. No offense. I don't know. I don't want to get canceled. Friggin', oh god, so good, just so good. I can't even process right now what I want to say. Rob Zombie says those Lokis, as you mentioned, in the adjective form. Yeah, those Lokis. Oh man. Now I'm glad we changed our name in the hockey game to Loki's. I feel like he deserves it. Although it's crazy to me. So I wonder what happened at the end there. Why don't they remember who he is? From now on, let's coin the term now. Loki's refers to people who only watch the movies and don't watch the Disney Plus shows. Those Lokis. I wonder why they forgot who he is. I guess we'll find out eventually that new multiversal war has started, and a new Kang or He Who Remains or whatever they want to call him kind of took over and erased the memory of the current TVA of any existence of our Loki. Oh man, it's just nuts. It's just nuts. I have a feeling now. I mean, they haven't said anything, and we don't have as much information about the kind of contract that Jonathan Majors signed. But like, he's got to show up in a few movies. I feel like he's going to show up more than we know. We know Ant-Man, and obviously we now know this Loki show. But as far as we know, he's not going to appear anywhere else. But we have, the Secret Invasion, I think it's called, in the Samuel Jackson led show, Secret Invasion show on Disney Plus. He might show up there. He might show up in Shang-Chi, I would think, with the 10 rings. Maybe they have some sort of power. I don't know. Yeah, so you're saying, Rob, he didn't go back to the timeline that they came from. He went back to a separate timeline with the TVA not knowing who he is. I mean, that's the easy explanation, right? They basically set that up perfectly. It's an easy answer for everything now. Anything that doesn't make sense, any plot hole, think about it. Any plot hole in any movie or show going forward, the answer is, it's a different timeline. It's a different reality. It's an easy kind of, you can just wave it away. Rob says the reality is where Kang was open and visible as the head of the TVA, hence they don't need to find all the Lokis. So that's an interesting interpretation. I kind of took it as in the time that Kang that He Who Remains was killed. Kang came. I don't know. I wouldn't say maybe killed Sylvie, but ended her reign as the leader of the TVA or living in that world, and now took over and made changes so that the people who could challenge him, who kind of know what's going on, no longer exist. And that's our Loki and Sylvie. But I mean, it could be anything really. And I guess they'll explain that in Loki Season 2. What's interesting to me though is, so what's Loki Season 2 going to be about? I mean, they can't deal with this threat on a Disney Plus show. This threat has to be dealt with in a movie, and a major movie. This is going to be going on for a while. I would think the rest of Phase 4, the rest of Phase 5, probably the rest of Phase 6, and maybe we get a resolution at the end of Phase 6. It's got to be a Thanos, bigger than Thanos, really. Can you imagine if we have an event movie and basically they bring back everybody who's ever been around? Steve Rogers, Chris Evans as Steve Rogers, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Thanos, everyone fighting on the same side to try and beat Kang and his army. That would be nuts. Man. So it had to be the same time, but a parallel reality. I mean, it must have been. It must have been. I mean, we could talk about that one little thing, all day long. But I guess they'll explain that in Loki Season 2. That's got to be what it's about. Him trying to I guess refresh Mobius's memory of their relationship and what they've been through. I mean, at some point I want to see Elias come back too, because he just looked awesome. Oh man, I'm just crazy. I guess that could explain why. Well, so now just as a side note, I was reading and hearing that Shang-Chi is going to take place in that 5-year gap where everyone was snapped away, which explains why Wong and Abomination are fighting in that movie. But I feel like besides that movie, every other movie is going to be dealing with this. And I think this is the reason why in this year we're not getting a lot of the older characters coming back. We're getting newer intros. So we had the Black Widow movie. We have Shang-Chi coming. We have Eternals coming. Those are all almost like origin stories for those characters. But I feel like in 2022, they saved Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor 4, and Ant-Man 3. They saved all those movies for 2022 because they wanted time to essentially set up this whole explanation of reality and time travel and Kang and all that kind of stuff. So at this point, I feel like we're going to get a lot more build-up, but I feel like everything is really going to be leading up to Ant-Man 3 when we get a real, true introduction of Kang the Conqueror and what he's about and what his plans are and so on and so forth. I don't know if we'll get all of it in that movie, but at least the beginning of it. And then that will lead into like the Fantastic Four, into Blade and some of the new characters. In 2023, I think we got Moon Knight coming, which will probably heavily tie into this. She-Hulk, which I'm not sure how she's going to really tie into all this, but in that movie we got Mark Ruffalo coming back, so that's all after the fact. So again, if you put your faith in Kevin Feige and he's got it laid out, oh man, we're not gonna have any questions by the time those things come around. I need more time to dissect this episode. This is crazy. So much going on here. I got to sleep on it and come up with some more theories. Oh, I'm glad that the stream worked though. I wasn't sure if I was getting kicked off of Twitch at some point. So that's good. Again, I'm a no-name person, so I guess they don't give a shit about what I do, which I'll milk that for as long as I can. I'm gonna end the show with that. I have so much other stuff to talk to, but maybe I'll do another episode later today or later this week because I need to think about this. I need to think about it. Rob Zombie, thanks for jumping in. And listen, if you have any theories, you better let me know, and we better chat about this because I got some thoughts that I need to formulate and figure out. I need to do some research. I need to do some reading. Damn. For anyone else that's in the group, if you I'll be posting a lot of these thoughts on TikTok also. And if you haven't already, please follow us on all the social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitch, Twitter, and the Tiki-Taki. And I will be back next week. I'm gonna go back to my normal Tuesday schedule. And thank you for jumping in, man. GG for anyone who's gaming. And let me know what you guys all thought in the Facebook group about the show. I will see you guys next week.